Hello everyone, welcome to my review video of my new LG washer and dryer set. I'm actually going to break this into two separate videos, for one for the washer and one for the dryer. In this one here, we're going to focus on the washer, and I'm going to take you through a little bit about the brand, where it sits in the lineup, just a little brief backstory on what made me choose these LG models, the price, go over some basic features as well as some dislikes. And then I will end the video with some B-roll footage of the washer in operation. So if you like that, please like, comment, and share this video. Let's get into it. Okay, so with this model here, this is the LG WT7100CW model. And this right here is the entry-level model that gets you into the LG washer and dryer product line. Uh, for me, I was in the market for some value priced washer and dryer set that didn't break the bank, but still was a very reliable brand. Had a lot of space on the interior. So, and I'm familiar with LG products, both their phones, which I've had in previously, as well as their TVs and many other products that they make. So I trusted the brand name. So when I went to the store, um, looked at GEs, looked at Maytags, Samsung, looked at all the brands, but when it really came down to price, as well as features and the value, the LG really came out on top. The price that I paid for each item here in the set was $670 each. The manufactured retail price that most chain big box stores that sell appliances has it advertised at $699. The store that I went to had it advertised at $696, which of course I helped negotiate down to $670. So it, for the most part, it's a pretty nice entry-level set, I must say. So kind of show you guys the interior. I really wanted a set that did not have the agitator. I actually wanted this setup because I wanted a bigger drum that could fit more clothing in, and this one right here really fit that need. There was some other models that were similar to this that didn't have the agitator in the center, but they were of course more expensive. So I went with this, and I also wanted the stainless steel drum. I love the look of that, along with the glass lid here. So for the most part, that it checked that box for me. And then, so once I let that down, I really liked how it has the slow closing lid so that there's no slamming. When it comes to the features, so we have 8 different wash cycles on this model. Of course, you can go up to the higher level models, which are more expensive and have more wash cycles, but for my needs, I work in an office. I am not coming home with severely dirty clothes, and even if I was, this washer still could handle that as well. But it's just me. I have no children, any of that. So these 8 cycles here are more than enough for me. So you have normal, which is the one that I find myself, I use that the most for my needs. Heavy duty, I typically use that for when I'm doing like the thicker materials like jeans, like you can also use it for bedding and towels and stuff like that, even though there is a feature you see over there for bedding. But Again, it all depends on what you're putting in. There is a deep wash feature. So one of the biggest complaints people have on these high efficiency washers is that they don't fill up with enough water. Um, Even on the normal setting, I find that the drum fills with enough water. My clothes get completely soaked and they come out clean. But for the dirtier jobs, you can turn it to the deep wash setting, and this drum will fill up with water just like a traditional washer that most people are used to, a non high efficiency washer. So I find that works very well for those individuals who complain about these HE models saying that they don't fill up with enough water. There is a setting called waterproof, which is for your waterproof items. So that would be like certain types of clothing, like your winter jacket and stuff, if it's a waterproof jacket, or I've seen like sleeping bags and stuff like that that doesn't let water penetrate, because that kind of plays into the system when you put it in here and it's trying to weigh the load so that it knows what kind of water. So I'm not going to get too deep on that because I don't know all the features, how that works on the back end, but that's just a basic explanation of waterproof. So then there's bedding. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Your sheets and bedding, lighter stuff. Again, if you got the really heavy quilts and stuff like that, you probably would want to use the heavy duty cycle, but bedding will take care of most of all your typical bedding, sheets and pillowcases and stuff like that. There's delicates, which again is pretty self-explanatory. Your delicate items that need to wash delicately. There is a speed wash feature, and what the speed wash feature is, when you only have a few items, maybe 3 or 4 items, and you just want to wash it quickly. It's not very soiled or anything, but you still want to kind of give it a wash and pep it up a bit. So that's what that feature is for. Then there's the tub clean, and tub clean is the feature that you use to clean the tub. LG recommends at least once a month that you use whatever cleaning method you would like. There are plenty of other YouTube videos out there where people explain how to wash your washing machine, so check those out. So what I'm going to do is start it up, kind of take you on the features over here. I love that chime, by the way. So over here is just kind of where you can dial in your load. So let's just say I wanted to do normal, and I am going to include some B footage of this operating on the normal settings at the end, so you'll see it in more detail. But over here you can, this is all touchscreen over here, so you can press there to change your water temperature, the spin speed. So I usually like to keep mine on high, and that really gets this thing spinning and dries the clothes even more, so that the dryer doesn't have to work as hard. And then there's the soil level, which again, for my clothing, I normally keep it on normal. There are some additional features over here. There is the extra rinse feature. So again, it gives it an extra rinse, and I also noticed that the drum will fill up with water on that feature. There's the water plus. So again, if you press and hold, you also do the soak. Water plus is again that same technology of it filling up with water. Delay wash, that right there is for I actually haven't really explored that one yet. Gotta dig a little deeper on that one. And cold wash. So I haven't found myself using these too often, because I find just the standard options that it selects there has been enough for me. In the B-roll footage, you'll notice it starts out, even though it starts out at the 63 minutes, what it does is once the clothes are all in here, let me open this up, it starts to spin a little bit, and kind of what it's doing is it's basically just weighing the load to see how much water it's going to need, how long of a time it's going to need to operate. So of course, the more things that fill the basket, or I should say the drum, the longer this time would be. But once it finishes that process, then that's when the time here updates itself and it starts. One thing I did learn by watching some other YouTube videos is that when you load these, you want to kind of load the clothes in like a ring and keep this middle section here exposed. So what ultimately ends up happening is almost kind of like, you know, like a stacks of rings or donuts or something stacked on top of each other, and your clothes just want to kind of be around the side with that open. Because what starts to happen is when this starts spinning, it kind of pushes all the clothes to this edges here, and then that helps with the cleaning when the water starts coming down and it starts soaking right here. And then eventually it starts spinning. Now, one other technology that I want to talk about on this washer is this right here, which is the direct drive motor. LG has had this for well over a decade, even longer than that, I believe. And what it is basically, instead of the old traditional system of a motor located in the back and belts and pulleys and stuff that spin, all of that stuff has been removed, and the motor is actually mounted to the bottom of this spin plate here. And what that does is it eliminates a lot of moving parts, so there are no belts or anything like that in there, nothing that can pop, or so it's more durable in the long run. And that's one of the reasons why LG can offer a 10-year warranty on that motor that sits on the bottom of that. It also allows the drum to spin a super fast. This thing, it really gets going, and I have to say it's a bit mesmerizing just looking down at it operating, because it spins so fast, and it can do that because of the fact that the motor is on the bottom. So I'm not going to get too technical in that. LG do have some videos out there that explains how that technology works. One other thing I wanted to show is the detergent and softener. So, you know, pretty self-explanatory. Liquid detergent, your softener. LG does say if you want to use powder detergent, you need to take this out and just pour it directly in there. There is the bleach dispenser right there. Now, one thing that I use in my loads, in addition to my liquid detergent, I usually use like a Arm & Hammer washing soda. For that, I just put that directly in the drum, but still put the liquid detergent there. This feature right here, so this right here, I haven't actually seen this in operation, but what it is another jet stream of water. And I think if I use that extra rinse, that may kick that off. But I haven't, using the regular cycle, that has never operated. But basically it's just another stream of water that helps with the clothes and rinsing and washing them. So I do feel the piping and stuff, but again, I'm not totally sure if it operates on this model here, but I've definitely seen it in action on some of the higher level LG washers. So when it comes to dislikes, the only one I can really think of is sometimes with the liquid detergent, it doesn't clean it out as much as I would like. There still be leftover residue in there. I don't overload it. I make sure to measure it correctly. So that right there, I just, it's just one thing that I noticed, but it's not a deal breaker or anything. It still washes the clothes very well, so no complaints there. Let's see. Quiet. It is a pretty quiet operating machine. What you will notice now, when you're up close to it, of course you're going to hear it, but just to kind of give you guys a little scale and depth of my apartment. So the washing system here is actually in my kitchen here, and the living room is there. So then turning the other way are the bedrooms and bathroom. So being in a smaller space, I definitely would hear if this thing made a lot of noise, and I can honestly be in the living room watching a movie and barely hear this thing operating. Only time I'll kind of hear it is when it's emptying the water and it's spinning. But again, even still, it's not something that disturbs me or I got to turn the TV all the way up or anything of that nature. So overall, I am very pleased with this washer. I think if you are just looking for a reliable, value-based washer that has a good mix of features, I think this would be a good washer for you. But you have to kind of determine that for your lifestyle. And for that, I just want to thank you for watching my video. Stay tuned, because right after this video, I'm just going to include some B footage of it operating. I did notice like that there's a little squeak I heard in the video, but it's not the washer. I think it's just the way the clothes, something was just up against the side. So yeah, enjoy that. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment, subscribe, share, and thanks for watching.